Good morning, everyone. Thank you for watching my presentation. My name is Merrick Law. I live on the south coast in Wollongong, New South Wales, and for about 7 years I've been working as an SLSO in primary schools. My inquiry investigation is on the impacts of human activity on the health of the Great Barrier Reef. The issues surrounding the Great Barrier Reef are widely studied and publicly reported on. Australia's Great Barrier Reef is actually the world's largest coral reef and the richest natural ecosystem in the world. But today the reef's existence is under threat from human activity. According to the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Authority's annual report, in the last 30 years alone, 1/3 of the reef has become under severe threat. That's why I chose to investigate this topic, because I remember going to the Great Barrier Reef as a child and finding the colourful coral and fish amazing. One day I'd like to take my children up to the Great Barrier Reef so they can experience it too. For this inquiry investigation, I started with a general Google search and found a few websites that contained a lot of information on the Great Barrier Reef. From this, I chose the direction of my investigation. I created a short list of keywords and phrases that I then used in a Google Scholar search, which was linked to the Curtin Library database. I have found some journal articles and reports that reviewed current and relevant research figures that I've used in my investigation. However, I would like to collect a larger bank of credible resources to help conclude the investigation. Using Google Scholar linked with the Curtin University database actually proved to be a significant step in the investigation, as most of my information and understanding gained during the initial search was heavily biased, exaggerated, misleading, or sometimes just false. By locating more credible web pages and articles, I was able to trust the statistics and facts and base my investigation around these. The Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Authority releases an outlook report on the health of the Great Barrier Reef every 5 years, and the latest one was released in 2014. In the report, they comment on things like coastal developments, declining water quality, and climate change, and how these impact on the health of the reef. This was one of the main resources I used at the beginning of my investigation. As outlined in the 2014 Outlook report by the Marine Park Authority, the large coastal developments for agriculture, mining, urban and industrial development, port development, and island development all affect the reef's natural environment. The coastal ecosystems, which are important for feeding and breeding for marine animals and trapping sediment and filtering nutrients from the freshwater entering the reef, are affected by these developments. The industrial activity in the region is also impacting on the health of the reef. As the table shows, since 2001, around 28 million cubic tons of dredged material has been disposed of into the reef. Researchers outline the impacts of pollutants such as sediments, nutrients, and pesticides that flow into the reef. This is causing higher algae growth and buildups of pollutants in sediments and marine species. Over long periods of time, this can create ecological imbalances spanning across large areas of the reef. High concentrations of pollutants can lead to increased algae growth, which can reduce the chances for new corals to establish or grow. This table indicates the alarming levels of exposure to pollutants. The results show much of the inshore areas falling into the category of very high being red or high being orange. This investigation can easily be linked in with the Australian curriculum across multiple year levels. In the table, I've highlighted how this inquiry topic could be used to cover content descriptors in Year 4 and Year 6. The content descriptors for the Year 4 level have been taken from the Science as a Human Endeavour and Science Understanding strands, while the content descriptors for the Year 6 are taken from the Science as a Human Endeavour and Science Inquiry strands. Thanks again for watching my presentation. I hope it shed some light on the topic and made you consider the implications for our actions on the environment. If we continue this way, there will be no Great Barrier Reef for our future generations to see.